The first thing that comes to mind when you hear the phrase Bombay cat is that it probably comes from Bombay, India. However, it is not. The breed was bred with the direct participation of breeder Nikki Horner, who had a weakness for panthers and dreamed of breeding a cat breed similar to them. This woman lived and worked, not at all in India, but in the United States, Kentucky. History of the origin of the Bombay cats. The history of the creation of the Bombay cat breed is not so long ago. As it turned out, the American breeder Nikki Horner long and diligently engaged in crossing two breeds, Burmese and American Shorthair, wanting to get a miniature copy of the panther, whose beauty and grace she always admired. Interesting fact, in 1958, the breeder almost succeeded, but the first litter turned out to be completely imperfect. Perseverance is always rewarded, and after a couple of years, Nikki still got a mini panther with the same shiny coat and graceful body as her wild relative. The new breed was recognized by the Cat Fanciers Association only in 1970, and already in 1976 at the exhibition one of the Bombay cats was awarded the title of champion. Many breeders of the Burmese breed were indignant and protested about this. They say, "This is not a new breed, but just one of the varieties of Burmese." Because of this, Nikki Horner had to give up his dream and stop all work in this area. However, other breeders, spouses Suzanne and Herb Zwecker continued Nikki Horner's endeavors and in the mid-80s got a cat with a perfect black coat, a future champion, which radically changed the opinion about the breed. Today the genes of this cat are present in the pedigree of most representatives of this breed. As it turned out, there are still very few registered purebred Bombay cats in the world. At the beginning of the 2000s, about 100 individuals were registered by the CFA organization, based on which the breed was only in 34th place out of 40. Bombay cat. Breed description. The Bombay cat inherited their best qualities from the parent breeds, Burmese, American Shorthair. The most important feature of these cats is the black coat along its entire length, very shiny, iridescent in the light, which is close to the body and has almost no undercoat. Sometimes kittens have lighter spots on their fur, but as they get older, they disappear. Real bombers should have black pads on their feet and toes, as well as a nose. The body of Bombay cats is of medium size, rather dense, strong and muscular. Males are usually slightly larger and heavier than females. The weight of cats varies from 2.6 to 5.7 kilograms. Bombay paws are not too long, in proportion to the body and tail. Feet are rounded. They have 5 toes on their front paws and 4 on their hind legs. The head of the Bombay cat is also round, and the muzzle is wide. When examining the muzzle in profile, the stop of the nose is very clearly visible. In a purebred representative of the breed, the feet of the nose should not go into a kink. The nose is slightly flattened and its tip is slightly rounded. The ears are medium in size, also with rounded tips. They are quite wide at their base and slightly tilted forward, which is why the cat often looks wary. Based on the rather vague wording of the standards for the shape of the head, at shows, judges can judge show specimens of animals in completely different ways. For this reason, the classic representatives of the Bombay cats, with elongated muzzles, occupy both the last and the first places. The Bombay's eyes are not slanted, as in the vast majority of breeds, but round, very bright and expressive, one might even say, sparkling. The color of their iris is of 2 types. Copper or gold, British Bombays, orange or amber, American Bombs. At the same time, there is a tendency that in 3 to 5-year-old cats the eyes gradually become less bright and even sometimes change their color to green. Up to the age of 1 month, kittens have blue eyes, while older ones have gray. Popular colors of Bombay cats. Initially, the goal of breeding the Bombay cat was to create a mini panther, exactly as black and graceful as living in the wild. For this reason, all Bombay cats, in accordance with international generally accepted breed standards, are characterized by a rich black coat along the entire length, with an intense shining, even terry sheen. No other colors for this breed are completely unacceptable. Interesting fact, it is noteworthy that Bombay kittens are far from immediately and do not always meet the accepted standards, often having both lighter spots on the coat and slightly brownish, in the light, rather thin sable undercoat. It also happens that in the whole litter of purebred Bombays, only 1 kitten is born with a black coat color and all the rest, due to the presence of a dominant Burmese gene, are born with a brownish, sable, color. To obtain a rhinous black color in the entire litter, Bombay cats are nevertheless often crossed with Burmese cats, since the black gene for both breeds is dominant. With the American short-haired Bombay, they rarely cross, since the genes of the former have a bad effect on the physique and grace of the latter. All Bombays have a rather short coat, practically without undercoat, which is very tight to the body, which makes it easy to contemplate their strong, muscular and graceful body. Bombays should have the same black nose, outside and inside, paw pads, fingers, whiskers and vibrissae. The nature and habits of Bombay cats. Bombay cats have a strong affection for their owners and for all family members, including even small children. They are very sensitive creatures and can easily guess the mood of the owners even by the intonation of their voice. Bombay cats require a lot of attention to themselves, constantly reminding themselves of themselves with various active actions, games, meowing, especially if it is time for feeding. Interesting fact, Bombay cats do not like loneliness and suffer if the owners leave them alone for a long time. To somehow compensate for the lack of communication with this sociable cat, you can try to get another cat. In their behavior, mini panthers are quite active and playful, so they need toys, otherwise they will play with everything. Bombays are also quite talkative, although silent individuals are no exception for this breed. However, most of these cats do not pester their owners with their purring and meowing. In comparison with other breeds, their voice is relatively low and unsharp. Bombay cats are characterized by the following qualities: intelligence and high intelligence, non-conflict, sociability, playfulness, endurance, compliance. These cats absolutely do not tolerate rudeness, sometimes they can be vindictive. Therefore, raising their voices, and even more so physical punishment, is completely unacceptable for them. Despite the fact that the Bombay are very attached to their family members, they are quite suspicious of strangers. Especially if they are too intrusive and constantly try to pick them up, squeeze or stroke them. Interesting facts about Bombay cats. Due to their very sociable nature, Bombay categorically do not tolerate loneliness. They miss their owners very much during their absence and always follow their heels like dogs when they return home. Contrary to popular belief that all cats are difficult to train, it is very easy to teach the Bombay cat some tricks, for example, bringing different objects, bowls, small toys, throwing them and rewarding the animal with something tasty. Sometimes 2 to 3 sessions are enough for the cat to remember the skills and understand what they want from her. Also, these intelligent animals can easily figure out how to open a door or refrigerator. Bombays live long enough, 13 to 20 years. Their lifespan is influenced by their lifestyle, nutrition, health, activity. The Bombay cat is still a rather rare and small breed. In this connection, it is often compared to a jewel. Representatives of the breed are not very fond of walking on the street, although if the cat is taught to walk from a tender age, then there are no problems. In this case, you must definitely take care of a comfortable harness with a leash in advance. Free range is a taboo for Bombay because hybrid breeds are highly susceptible to various feline viruses. Bombay cats prefer to sleep not curled up into a ball, but sprawled or stretched out to their full length. Often they sleep in the master's bed, which creates inconvenience. For this reason, the sleeping place of the animal should be quite large and spacious. It has been proven that Burmese develop and mature for a long time, almost 2 years. There is an opinion among designers that the popularity of Bombay cats began to grow with the introduction of fashion for Scandinavian-style interiors. This minimalist style with a variety of dark tones favorably emphasizes the beautiful graceful pet with sleek iridescent blue-black fur. Pros and cons of Bombay cats. The positive qualities of the incredibly beautiful and rare Bombay cats include a very spectacular appearance and grace, as well as an almost complete resemblance to a panther. For all its somewhat wild appearance, the animal has a very affectionate and benevolent character, not too talkative, very attached to its owners, does not trust strangers, but at the same time, tolerates the presence of a dog in the house. Another indisputable plus of the Bombers is that they get along well with people, both with adults and with children. The cat is simply very smart, one might even say, and intellectual, understands well its owners, their teams, can learn to make friends, help, bring a ball and other small objects, hold a toy in its paws, open the door with its paw. She does not at all require special attitude and attention to herself, is very unpretentious in nutrition and quickly enough adapts to a new environment for her. The negative aspects of the breed include the manifestation of genetic diseases. This is due to the fact that the breed is hybrid and still quite young. Bombays are characterized by the episodic appearance of problems with the ears, eyes, gums, viral diseases. For this reason, the eyes, ears and gums require close master's attention and control. Also, Bombay cats are prone to obesity, as they almost never suffer from lack of appetite and the ability to control the amount of food eaten. Another disadvantage, albeit rather strange, is that Burmese often cannot get along with other cats, although they are quite tolerant of dogs. Caring for Bombay cats. Caring for mini panthers is not too difficult. To do this, it is enough to do the following: brush out the coat with a soft brush once a week. Wipe the corners of the eyes with a moistened cotton pad as it gets dirty once every 2 to 3 days. Check the ears, and if dirt is found there, then wipe them with a cotton swab dipped in chamomile broth or in a solution of vinegar and warm water 50 to 50, 1 time per week. It is important to constantly monitor the cleanliness of dishes, feeding places and the tray, since Bombay cats are simply unsurpassed cleaners who are very sensitive to their hygiene. Needless to say, the animal must have its own sleeping place, and not one, but two or three, in different places of the house or apartment. Thus, cats will not pretend to be the master's bed, which often happens due to their strong affection. The presence of a good scratching post is necessary, since this cat device greatly simplifies the care of the claws, they will not need to be cut often. The short coat of the Bombay does not require any special maintenance. It does not require frequent combing and frequent washing, and almost never falls out. The most essential things for a Bombay cat. Bowl, preferably made of metal. Tray, plastic or metal, always with high sides. Scratching post. Sleeping place, preferably 2 to 3 sun loungers. Toys. Frequent water treatments are not recommended for cats. If the cat is not outside at all, then one bathing every 6 months is enough. For bathing, it is better to use special shampoos, or, at worst, baby soap. If you bathe your pet too often, it can develop allergies. Cats must be vaccinated regularly and given drugs for helminths. If a kitten is purchased in a cattery, then the buyer must be provided with a vaccination certificate. Bombay cat. Price and how to buy correctly. As for the price, a kitten of a young purebred Bombay cat with a pedigree cannot cost less than $800. Therefore, a too low price for a kitten, for example, $50 of a future breeder, should at least be alerted. After all, most likely we are talking about an ordinary backyard cat, and an inexperienced person in this regard may not immediately notice the difference. The average price of a real Bombay is about $1,000, and its small fluctuations in one direction or another may depend on the class or pedigree of the animal. According to the standard of Bombay cats, breeders divide into 3 classes. Show. The cat has many titled ancestors, outstanding qualities, is used for participation in exhibitions and for breeding. Breed. The cat does not have outstanding qualities and ancestors with titles, however, it fully complies with all standards and can give offspring of the show class. Pet. The cat has some deviations from the standards, does not have a pedigree, and cannot participate in exhibitions. The price of a sterilized Bombay cat kitten, which is purchased as a pet, can reach $500. Recommendations of an experienced breeder when buying a Bombay cat: 3 to 4 months old, clear eyes, clean ears, smooth tail, shiny coat of even black color without spots, playfulness and activity. Needless to say, a real Bombay can only be bought in a specialized nursery and not from a private breeder. At the same time, the price of a kitten cannot be too low. In the cattery, breeders will tell you what features should be focused on, what should be the age and qualities of the future pet: eye color, head and ears shape, physique. The Bombay cat is a miniature panther. It is characterized by the plasticity of a wild beast, shiny and iridescent blue-black fur, as well as an affectionate disposition. This beautiful animal is able to win love literally at first sight. The Bombay cat is a great choice for people who want to have an exotic pet in their home, but cannot devote too much time to it.